door knocking for them because they were so specific in what they wanted. And we finally closed on a property for them. And then I listed their house, and we priced it pretty aggressively. And then we got competing offers. So now they don't have to, they can carry two properties, but because we were able to sell it pretty quickly, they don't have to carry two properties now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. How about you, Steve? Big win or gratitude?
Very much the same thing. My guys took a risk on making an offer on a place before their place listed, and we had to work really hard to get an accepted offer on their place before they take possession in November. So that's all looking
Yeah.
pretty good.
All right. Sales are still being made. I like it. I like it.
Yep.
Matt, welcome.
Hey, good morning, Joe.
Good morning. Good morning. You got a big win or gratitude?
Yeah. The listing I mentioned last week that I got while I was away in Japan went live Thursday last week. So biggest listing I've ever done, 3.1 million. Put it on the market Thursday morning. Looks beautiful. We've had really strong traffic through. So awesome start. Happy client, awesome start.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Congrats.
thank you.
Good. Good, 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 good. All right, cool. We might have a lean group, but that's totally okay. We're recording in case somebody wants to watch it. Today, are you ready to present, Matt?
Yes, I sure am.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, yeah, I'll let you get the controls here. You could share your screen, whatever you want to do here. And
All right.
yeah, just do maybe a small introduction of who you are, so whoever's watching this could probably benefit as well. Maybe want to connect, maybe want to send you referrals.
Awesome. Sounds good. So my name's Matt Grenahan. I work with TJ and the team here in Vancouver at McDonald Realty. I'm part of the Allmotivar group. I've been with the team now for just about 3 years. Time is flying by. Uh, Prior to joining TJ and the team, I worked for about 21 years in human resources. And that has parlayed nicely into my career now working with clients in a whole different spectrum. But, managing relationships, managing and negotiating contracts. And it's been really exciting in real estate because I get to do things I've never gotten to do before. And I'm actually loving it. Things like marketing, things like videography, starting to use AI to implement systems and automations in the business. So, yeah, so far it's been an amazing adventure here in Vancouver. And I love getting up and doing what I do every day. That's to me one of the most important things. It it doesn't feel like work the same way human resources used to.
Mhm.
But yeah, love it a lot, and have gotten to work with some really cool clients in the last few years. And it's been interesting just kind of watching my trajectory since the very beginning to today. I was even talking with TJ about it the other day. Even for video, I said, I still go back and watch the first video I ever filmed when I joined the team, and I say, I cringe. I was so uncomfortable. I did not, I did not enjoy it. And now I actually get excited about doing video, and I'm coming up with video ideas in my head, and I'm working with our videographer to kind of self-direct myself, if you will. But yeah, it's
Mhm.
been so cool just to sort of nudge my comfort zone further out and keep pushing myself to do more creative things. I'm used to like spreadsheets and numbers and contracts and things like that. So getting to dabble in the creative has been a lot of fun. It's kind of what led me to start going a little deeper with AI. When it first came out, I'm always curious to try the latest and greatest technology. A lot of it, I dabble. I don't really do much with it, but I started using ChatGPT pretty much from the get-go when it first launched. And I kind of just went skin deep to start, asking questions, reaffirming things that I thought I already knew, but I wanted to double or triple check. And that was like just to get me comfortable with like, how is this thing working? What is it doing? What should I be telling it? And I learned very quickly that with ChatGPT and the other AI systems as well, Gemini, Perplexity, you name it, what you get out of it is only as good as what you instruct it to do and what you share with it about yourself and your vision, your needs, your desires. So you do have to spend some time in the beginning to let, and I'll use ChatGPT as an example because that's the one I use the most at the moment. You have to take the time in the beginning to invest in letting it know who you are, right? Who you are, what type of work you do, what your style is, how you communicate, what type of client, obviously not with revealing personal information about clients, but just the type of client base you work with so that it can start to build a profile about you. So every time you're talking to it, either written, typing, or verbally, because you can do that too. And I've done some cool stuff with that. Every time you're talking to it and asking for it to help you do something, it gets better and better each time to the point now where it actually answers questions I haven't even asked yet. But it knows it's coming. It's going to be the next natural series of questions. So I spent probably the first couple of months just doing very rudimentary stuff, both for business and for personal as well. I used it recently, my partner and I used it to almost plan our entire trip to Japan. And it did an amazing job. Obviously, you still have to know what you're trying to achieve to guide it. But what I started doing in the last, I'll say 3 months since I really started going deeper and just letting it take on a lot of the things that I was finding I didn't have bandwidth and time to do on a consistent basis. Even little things like last year when we did our business planning, December of 23 for January 24, I said, one of the things I was struggling with was just my schedule. I was working off of multiple different calendars. I had a personal calendar, I had a work calendar. I was manually updating everything. It was horrendous. So I thought one of the first things that I would like help with that I thought, maybe ChatGPT could do this is helping set my schedule every day and me not having to tell it to do it for me every day. So I tried 2 or 3 times to come up with a prompt because again, you have to instruct it. You have to tell it what you're trying to achieve. So I did a prompt and I ran it a few times and it wasn't quite as automated as I wanted. And there are absolutely still limitations with ChatGPT. It can't do everything automated end to end, but every week that's going by, it's going a bit further and a bit further and a bit further. But I finally used ChatGPT to help write for me the prompt that I was trying to write myself, but was kind of missing some of the steps. So I basically told it, here's what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to be more organized. I want you to act as my assistant slash chief of staff for myself. I want you to anticipate my needs through the week based on what I'm asking you to do and what I'm using you for each day, each week. So it wrote for me a super prompt, which is like super powerful, covers end to end, even walks you through the integrations at the beginning of what you have to do. And I'll show you it in a minute so you can kind of see how it's structured. But I'll just give you a little like sneak peek of like what the prompt looks like, what it does for me, and sort of show you what it each night at around 9 o'clock, what it does for me each day. All I have to do at this point, one day, very soon, it will do it completely end to end for me. I won't have to touch a thing. At the moment, the only thing I have to do each night once it's run, and it's running every night, whether I am looking at it or not. All I have to do is download the ICS file for the calendar and upload it in my Google Calendar. That's it. Everything is structured, and I even have instructed it to tell it what is the most important things for me each day and each week. Not necessarily specific meetings or specific appointments that I'm going on, because those are in my calendar anyway. But what are my priority focuses each day and each week? And for me, number one above anything else, it always prioritizes prospecting. So it will look at my week, whatever I've put in there from, months ago or weeks ago. It'll look at what my recurring meetings are. It will look at my email and other appointments that I've been invited to, either from the team or from the brokerage or from clients or people I'm networking with. And it will work around those pre-existing appointments and put in time blocks for my focus areas in order of priority. So always in the morning, there is prospecting. And it's not just a one and done prospecting time, it's multiple per day, and it's in different forms. So it could be, marketing related. It could be door knocking. It could be calls, and it's always a rotation of those. But all I have to do, and this literally takes me, I kid you not, under 5 seconds per night to download the ICS file, import to Google Calendar, and I'm done. And so I'll share my screen just to show you what the prompt looks like. And then we just, okay, I'll share ChatGPT. So let me know when you can see ChatGPT. Good. So I have a whole bunch of stuff in here I've done categories, of course, for like real estate, my business. I have my travel category. I have Italy. That's a whole different story for another day, but I'll tell you more about that later. And I'm a wine collector and aficionado, so I also use it for wine stuff. But under each one, I have, like stuff for each category. In real estate, I have things about new home construction. I have this one, which is the one that I'm using the most, my chief of staff or my assistant. I have this one where for the purposes of today's discussion, used it to create a prompt. So I basically told it, I'm presenting at the Mastermind this week, and I'd like to show everybody how I'm using ChatGPT to help automate things in my business. So it said, awesome. I'm going to make you a killer Mastermind prompt demo. And below is a copy paste of the prompt, which I'm happy to share with all of you guys. You can literally copy paste it and do the same thing. And you can modify it, of course, to, tweak it for your specific situation. But it basically is written this super prompt saying that it is acting as my real estate operations assistant or chief of staff. And every night at 9 o'clock, it's going to build my next day plan that prioritizes prospecting and lead follow-up while integrating my email, my calendar, my contacts, my Google Drive documents, and then it's going to give me a time block schedule every day. So it has steps that it goes through. It's looking at my Gmail, which I use. I have a custom domain, but I use Gmail as my email client. for sending and receiving emails. So I'm on, before I was on Apple and Outlook, and I was on multiple different platforms. I moved everything back in the late spring to Google Workspace. So I'm on Google for everything, and it just streamlines everything and makes it a lot easier for ChatGPT. But it's looking at my email. It is looking in my Google contacts and email for any uh, loops that need to be closed with either leads or clients that I'm working with. It's looking at my calendar to do a sync with other appointments that are already there or recurring appointments that happen every week. It's looking at my files to see, do I have any contracts that are drafted? Do I have any documents that I'm uploading for a listing? It will piece together what I'm doing. And then it's building my plan in an ICS file, downloadable file format. For me, it's assuming Pacific time because I live in Vancouver, so I'm on the coast. It's saying I don't want it to send emails for me yet, but I've put that in as a limitation or as a guardrail. I don't want it to send or do any email sending. I'm only letting it look at my email to come up with tasks. And currently don't edit my calendar directly because it can't yet. It doesn't have that capability to automatically upload it to Google Calendar yet. At least as of a few days ago, it may have changed since I did that. Just propose. Just give me the calendar upload and proposal of time blocks. Keep links and subject lines ready to go. Keep sensitive data minimal in the summary that it creates for me every day. Place details under a collapsible section, which it does every night. And then if any of my connectors, I'm going to show you this in a second, if any of my connectors for some reason are not available, or like yesterday when there was the Amazon AWS outage, you may have had one of your platforms down temporarily. Then it will still do it, but it will list out what it wasn't able to confirm, just so you have a clear picture. It's giving me a file name with this file name format each day, ICS file. And it is going to give me a summary of how much time each day I'm doing prospecting, lead follow-up, and how many appointments. And it's also building in travel time for me to and from appointments, which is the best because I'm notorious for like bookending myself in appointments, especially like for tours and showings. So it's nice to have some breathing room in between to get to and fro, and it does it for me because can also look at Google Maps to map out my tour order. It's giving me some summary information about the schedule, my priority follow-ups ranked with hooks. It'll pre-draft responses for me to things, but it won't send it. And gives me the draft replies. It gives me appointments, and then it creates my file and notifies me in ChatGPT that it's ready to be downloaded. The first thing you need to do as part of doing something like this is you have to connect ChatGPT with your whatever platforms you're using. It doesn't have the ability to connect with every and any platform yet, but it can connect with a lot. How you do that is you go under your settings and it'll bring up a pop-up window, and you go into apps and connectors. Up at the top, these are the ones that I'm currently connected to. So Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Contacts, and Google Drive. It has many more, and it lists them out below. So you could do Canva, You could do, Apple Notes, you could do Dropbox, you could do HubSpot, you could do Outlook email, even though I don't use that platform anymore, or Outlook calendar. So it does have other programs that you can connect with, apps that you can connect with. Once you've connected them, it will automatically, without you having to do anything, talk and look at these programs every day as part of its scan. So connecting is really important, and it gives you step by step here. And I'll share this info with Joe so that he can share it with all of you too. These are the steps you have to do in the beginning to connect. So it's created a bit of an instruction list. Then it gives you a prompt to create the nightly or whatever time of day you want to do it, automation. Then you can give it your priorities. What do you want to prioritize? I have prospecting number 1, lead follow-up number 2, active deal, debriefing with listings or with clients. And then last, but still important, admin, back office stuff. It tells me what my nightly result will look like. And then it also has things like tips to how you can really push the needle on, it can summarize new emails for you. It can look for leads that are more active if you've connected it with your database, which I have not done, your CRM. It can ask for different tones of communication, concise, short, sweet, to the point, warmer, more firm, depending on the audience. It can look at if it's connected to your CRM, some lead management nudges, taking a look at any leads that have gone inactive. And then also doing what we call like appointment hygiene. So looking at your calendar for tomorrow and listing out any conflicts and booking in travel time. It goes on and on and on. A lot of these things I have not fully set up yet because I haven't connected it with my CRM, and I'm just about like 70-80% of the way there of what I actually want it to do it for the long term. But I had it create the instructions anyway so that you can do it at whatever pace you're comfortable with. What it does for me, I'll just flip over to my Google Calendar to show you. Just let me know when you can see it. Awesome. So I'll show you last week because this was like this week's a complete week. So as of last week, the only meetings that are typically on here week after week after week are the things in the light blue. These are like team-related recurring meetings. Everything else, the things in green, the things in the purple color, the things in yellow, are things that are new and change every week. So each night, it would look at my calendar for the next day and it would say, okay, Matt has, Coach Joe Tuesday morning. Matt's got a team meeting right after Coach Joe. Matt's got role playing mid-morning, and Matt's got another role playing thing later in the day. So I'm going to work Matt's schedule as best as possible around those recurring pre-existing meetings. So it created all of these meetings and appointments in my calendar each day. And then it creates the ICS file, which all I have to do to upload it is I click settings, I go import, and I go select file. And I collect, here's my ICS file from last night, which I've already done. And then I go import. It's literally 5 seconds. The day will come very soon. I'm certain of it. I won't even have to do that, which will be amazing. Then all I do is I also have the new function within Google Calendar, which is booking pages. So I set up a booking page. So people maybe that I'm not working with yet, it's on my website, it's on my Google My Business. people can set an appointment with me using Google Booking, and it will only show times that are available, and it's synced with my calendar. So it won't show times where I have appointments or meetings, which is really cool. I'm just starting to use this, so that's a pretty new feature. But Monday was blocked off because it was Thanksgiving stat holiday here in Canada. And then the rest of the week, I had all of my appointments. We had our pumpkin patch event here Saturday. I have my prospecting power blocks every morning. I have more. I have my hour of power every afternoon. I have client care and lead follow-up blocks. And then I have deep work where I'm doing CMAs, I'm doing marketing stuff, etc. So this is at the current time what it's doing for me every night. So every night after 9 o'clock, when I go to see, okay, what do I have coming up tomorrow so I can plan ahead and I'm not, flying by the seat of my pants in the morning, rushing around. I have a full view of my next day in full, and I have a decent idea for the rest of the week of anything that's kind of already existing and recurring. You can tell it, set my calendar for the whole week if you want. You don't have to do it one day at a time. The only reason I've started doing it one day at a time for now is because I'm just getting a feel for it, and I know that my days are going to change and evolve as the week goes on. So I like not blocking myself completely out where people can't book time with me too far ahead. But I may get to a point eventually where I could say Sunday night, hey, set my calendar for the whole week, and it'll do it in one file the whole week. So that's an option as well. The other thing that I have it doing for me, I'll show you really quickly here before we go. So I'll go back to ChatGPT. I also have it doing for me, it's in here. Can't remember if it's this one. Oh, here. So every week, I like to go see, depending what I'm doing each week. If I'm working with clients or I'm farming a neighborhood, I want to know kind of what inventory is there. And I want to be seeing properties before a client sends it to me and says, oh, what about this one? Or, oh, we haven't seen this one yet. I'm trying to get a step or two ahead of clients and leads that I'm working with. So I told ChatGPT that I want to start going to see new agent open houses in this neighborhood that we farm here in Vancouver. So usually on Thursdays or Fridays, agents for new listings will hold what they call like an agent's open or a broker's open. So it's not a public open house, it's a preview, as we all know. So I've told it, I want you to look online for any open houses because they're not always listed as an agent's open publicly, but I want you to look online and tell me every open house that either says it's an agent's or broker's open or that is scheduled for a Thursday or Friday afternoon, because that's not a normal time for a public open. And I want you to summarize it for me twice a week. I have it do it, I think it's Mondays and Wednesdays. And so every twice a week, it gives me a summary of here's what I found for open houses that are scheduled for either a weekday afternoon or that says it's specifically an agents or brokers open. And then I can pick and choose the ones that, hey, I'm going to go stop by that while I'm out and about in the field. Or, hey, this is on a street, or this is a type of property that I have a client who I think this actually may be a good fit for. So I'm getting into a routine now where it's every week it's telling me which open houses are agent and brokers open houses are available each week. And it gives me a summary of the date, the time, if it's a condo, a townhome, or a house, and the price, as well as where it found it. And it'll give me a link to where it found the open house listed. So it's been doing this net for me now for about a month. And so I've been able to go to some agents and brokers opens, which is always a good, when you have a bit of free time, getting a step ahead of your clients and leads you're working with in the market is always great. So, Joe, I know it's a lot of information and I kind of jumped around, but hoping it's kind of just wet the palate a bit. And again, all the prompt, the script, and the instructions on how to do it, Joe, I can send it to you and you can post it for the mastermind group. And again, feel free to use it, tweak it, modify it, do whatever you want to do. I think it really, for me personally, has been one of the biggest game changers for me in the last 3 years so far.
This is why I love this amazing group, always willing to share and care. And, it's great karma, Matt. So this was a great presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'd love to have that. I don't know if you saw anything on the chat, but if you want to start sending it over right now into the chat, just copy the prompt there and paste it in
Yes,
there, or you could send it via email, or you could go on to Facebook, or all of the above. But yeah, there was a good amount of interest for sure. You definitely taught
awesome.
me a few things as well, so that was awesome.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
thank
I will
you.
look at I'll look at the questions and comments and I'll share with everybody.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That was a great job. Anybody want to jump in real quick, ask a question or two? Yeah, that was powerful.
I'm curious, like maybe what some others are doing or thinking of doing with AI, whether it's ChatGPT or any of the other platforms.
Oh
Like
man.
how are you kind of what are your thoughts? Are you using it yet, or are you like on the cusp of starting to use it?
So last week, I'm not sure who knew or didn't know, but I was in Texas. And
Yes.
nothing really to deal with real estate. It was more software, AI, triggers, funnels, what have you. Man, it's a different ball game. So for you to be at this level where you're at, kick it up a few more notches and start to automate anything, everything, you will literally replace overhead because
Yes.
some of the AI uh, tech available right now is insane. And again, if you're not playing around with AI and you have high overhead, even virtual assistants, man, that whole scheme or whatever you want to call it has been changed big time. And so I would just say, like, keep embracing it, Matt. You are definitely way ahead. There's other things I'm learning on my end with other people and masterminds and what have you that holy moly. I mean, guys, stay tuned because I'm super, super excited about what I've been working on and I'm starting to like beta test some of this stuff. But man, it incorporates Chat GPT and AI voice, AI messaging, AI email. I mean, the whole gamut where you literally could be on vacation in Italy or Japan and
Yeah.
still working because your AI family or team is working on your behalf.
Yes. Yeah, I love it. Like and a disclaimer, I've not taken any chat GPT or AI courses. Literally, 99% self-taught with a little bit of YouTube, just checking myself occasionally on YouTube, but completely just I'm just playing around with it and trial and error. So I feel good, like without having gone to a formal course where they're telling you do A, B, C, D, E. I'm just like, I know this thing can do anything I tell it to. I have to figure out what I want, and then I can play around with it. And it doesn't take much time at all. It's fast.
It's funny you say that, Matt, because there's some people with your skill set,
Yes.
and believe it or not, they'll take forever and still not figure it out.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and so that's the beauty of where you're at, where you haven't had the formal training. When you
Right.
do, holy smoke, it's like kicking your training up in with steroids. Because
Yes.
seeing what I've seen with you right now and coming
Mhm.
from last week, holy smoke, man. I'm telling you, like, you kick it up a few more notches, like I said, you will
Yeah.
duplicate Matt in so many ways where
Yeah.
literally you could be in Italy, Japan, your AI agents are working for you,
Mm.
messenger, email, text, setting appointments, booking your calendar,
Yeah.
engaging, qualifying a lead via
Yeah.
AI. It's insane,
Yes.
guys. It is so insane.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm just barely scraping the surface, and I want to go like even deeper, harder, and wider with it. Like I do think it is I'm not a spring chicken, but I'm very open to better, easier ways of doing things. And I've always liked tech, even though I don't consider myself a tech guru by any stretch. But I have an appetite for like playing around with it, figuring it out, seeing what it can do, and and being inspired by others. Like this is not just an idea I came up with, overnight. It's been listening to other people. It was, a lot from the Tom Ferry Summit and the local summit that we went to in the spring with Tom Ferry. Like every time I come out of a Tom Ferry summit, like my the energy is just insanely high. And I feel like I'm at my best with coming up for ideas when I'm like energized like that. And I'm seeing, man, there's people out there making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars using AI. And what am I waiting for? You know? So
Great job. Great job. Steve, Candace, anybody want to pop in there, ask a question? We got like a couple more minutes and I got to wrap it up.
Oh, I desperately want the prompt that you use for that, for the
you
daily
got it.
scheduler, because I've been working with something like that, but I've been having trouble getting it to give me the output I'm looking for. So I
Cool.
would love that. Yeah, I put my email
Yeah,
in
I'll
that
send
chat, so
it.
I'm gonna send that over.
Yeah, I got it. I'll send it to you
But
soon.
yeah, I've been using ChatGPT for a lot of things and customize a lot of prompts for generating content that reflects my own style, my own personality. So it doesn't sound like AI generated content. And then I've got some automations in here for market reports, like taking the data from our local data, our local MLS, and um, generating summaries as well as graphics that go with it or visuals that go with it. And then I've just started using one that does it, taking the last 7 days of data and providing a summary for buyers and sellers, and then a separate summary for investors, and then the graphics that go with it. And so
That's
just,
cool.
it's a 10-minute task to generate some useful social media content.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, garbage in, garbage out. I mean, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Chat will start to learn how you think and
Yes.
be one or two chess moves ahead of you.
Hmm.
And guys, feed it great prompting, because if you're feeding it garbage, it's gonna create stuff you don't want to see, or derail you into a different direction you don't want to go. So really stay focused on, like, okay, am I going after the silver tsunami? What should my prompting be around? What should my PowerPoint be around? What should my copy Canva? It'll play around with it. I mean, I was on it last night And sometimes I have trouble sleeping because my mind's just going and going. And I was on it from maybe 11 to 1 a.m. this morning, just like I was working through this prompt, and I just, ooh, that sounds good. Ooh, it gets really addicting where you could set up your business plan, your marketing strategy, your PowerPoint presentation, your brochures. You could do a full on anything, everything on ChatGPT.
Yes.
All right. Anybody else? Sonny, I know you're itching.
So Matt, thank you. I think this is great. Like I know what I don't know, at least on these sessions. That's one thing.
Yes.
And thanks for your prompt. Thanks for sharing that. If you could send it through Joe or maybe email me, that'd be great.
Yes, of
And we
course.
integrate with everything, right? Like I know that when I ask you a question, I feel that I should ask the same question to GPT, right? Then it's always there. So my major thing is like connecting to the MLS, right? I think Steve has just
Yes.
right connecting to my KV Core is my CRM system. So they have all integration points. Looks like it the way you're saying it.
Yes.
So I can integrate so that way I have got, as you said, Joe, garbage and garbage out. My garbage is the MLS itself. So I hope it's a clean garbage, right? And garbage, all the data is very important, right? That's where we can get that. Integration points I was looking for.
Yeah, so for MLS, that's a great question because you can't connect it with obviously our view of MLS, like an agent's access to MLS where it can see everything. But when it's searching for me about open houses, neighborhoods, properties, market information, like Steve mentioned, it has full ability and it does search the public MLS. So all of the data that's published publicly, it can look at it top to bottom and give you a full, when did it list? What's its price? What was the previous price? Has it been listed before? What did it sell for last time? How many times have they changed the price? So anything that's viewable publicly, it can pull back for you. So like I say, there are still, obviously for security purposes, there are some limitations to it. I haven't gone down the path of giving it CRM access yet. I think it'll be a while yet before that. But anything that it can look at publicly, so it could be, here in Canada, our MLS, the public views it on a few different ways, either realtor.ca, rew.ca, or even agents sites like the new listing that I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting that I got when I was in Japan. They emailed me, messaged me through my website, through my custom domain website, which I think I teased Joe with last week. I said, I don't know if it's as a result of ChatGPT, but about a month before I went to Japan, I had ChatGPT do a full end-to-end review of my personal website for SEO, AEO, and GEO. And I told it, I want you to make rewrite my entire website, every page, every section, and make it an SEO, AEO, GEO powerhouse machine. 4 weeks later, I get this email while I'm in Japan through my website, and it turned into a $3.1 million lead. And I also looked at my website traffic before I made the changes and the 2 months after I made the changes. My traffic average before and after has gone up 200%.
Wow.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I've got to wrap it up. Big round of applause for Matt, guys. Big round of applause. Thank you
Yeah,
so
thanks for
much.
letting me
That
share,
was
Joe.
awesome. That was awesome. Have a
Thank you.
great week. We'll see you guys next week.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you, everyone.
See you guys.